Welcome to Fireteam Chat, IGN's Destiny show. Thank you so much for joining us. Joining me in the studio today is CJ Gibson.
What's up?
Fran Mirabella, Sean Finnegan, and we are all really stoked. The Destiny 2 Forsaken reveal just happened. Here's what they revealed. Basically, weapons can go in any slot you want them to. There's going to be random rolls on all weapons. They pretty much fixed the vault. There's going to be a new sort of expansion pass thing that you can buy, but it's not an expansion pass anymore. It's an annual pass now. And we'll talk all about that, our impressions, including the new PvP mode, Gambit. So first of all, guys, what did you think of the reveal? Are you excited? Is this good? Is Destiny back?
Did you just say they fixed the vault?
Yeah, they
the
did.
Oh, I never thought I
heard it here
September 4th. I don't want to jump to any conclusion.
You just said.
But it seems like it's
did.
going to be fixed. There is a collection
It does.
system in your inventory where I'm pretty darn sure Deed said you can just grab it right out of there.
Yep.
They're giving us 500 slots, which if I can get rid of all the crap I don't want,
Random rolls are back, though.
You have
Random
20
rolls
new
are gonna be-
ice lunas.
Yeah, there it is.
random rolls are back. That's going to be great.
But yeah, I know. I think we're talking about that later. You did say it, so I wanted to point it out.
September 4th, we'll see.
It's the happiest Destiny
definitive
in a
answer.
while. This is
That's all it
great.
took.
This is great.
And I do
It's
think-
the
And
vault.
mass shader deletion.
Oh, yeah.
I love that Scott was on the show.
That was
You know that
oh,
dude
That was
Scott,
awesome.
love him.
Yeah, that's great.
I think it's also worth noting we are headed into E3, so we just saw the reveal. We scrambled to do the show this week. Bear with us as we're trying to piece things together. Tweets are coming in, but obviously leave in the comments anything that needs a small correction if we get to that. But we're excited, right? I mean, where do we start?
Pretty positive. Let's go back to that question that I just asked everybody. Do you feel like this is a revitalization for Destiny, CJ?
Yeah, this was everything that I think addressed PvP, PvE, maybe even a little campaign, although they did say that they were going to shy away from that kind of stuff. Just
They're going to do
cutscenes.
fewer cutscenes and cinematics.
Yes.
It's going to be more about the
felt
gameplay,
like-
which is why players love the
Yeah.
game.
I totally felt like Deej was looking right at the camera being like, that Finnegan guy. He better be
Exactly.
paying attention to this.
Well, and we've
'cause-
talked about that. I mean, even with Black Ops 4 eliminating campaigns, those are bottlenecks to some of the gameplay things. So these are all positive changes, I think. And yeah, I'm now excited and have a bunch more questions that I'm sure we'll get answered in the next few weeks.
Yeah, they didn't talk about console exclusivity. They just said, hey, here's what everybody's getting. I'm sure it'll be there, but focusing on the content and what changes they're going to make in the core Destiny experience was the most important thing for them to do, and they rocked it.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure I already saw that asterisk exclusive until fall something, which is normally what we see. But
Great.
It might have been for something else, but I think I saw it in there. So.
Okay. What's your impression, though, Fran?
Oh, I thought you were moving on to Sean and the lore tabs over here. But for me, when I saw, for starters, there was like maybe new enemy types, right? Like seemingly.
They're fallen, but they look
definitely look
drastically different from
There's
any
like
Fallen.
chains and they got these cool, Forsaken horns or whatever it is. Boss or the enemy designs looked really cool. I'm liking the vibe of kind of the world they presented, and definitely the fact that they're like, there's these new subclasses. I mean, these are huge changes that we're not used to getting over the many years. We've really only got that once. We got like 2 times around. Sorry, we got a new subclass that was added along the first years, and
so new subclasses and new subclass trees. So the classes that you know today are probably going to be changed a little bit.
Yeah, but there was like throwing knives or something was a hunter. And anyway, I loved seeing that and loved just sort of the new stuff they're presenting, all new weapon slots, like you said. So it's not a small change. No, it's big, and that's why I'm excited. There's probably too much to dive into.
A whole new weapon archetype.
Yep.
I love bow and arrows, just like in real life.
Crossbow.
I love archery. Can't wait to try that.
Hopefully-
No, not crossbow. That's a bow and arrow.
Yeah.
Oh, I thought it was mechanical.
Yeah, no. And hopefully it kills in one hit. It does look like it does. I mean, which is interesting because even as a hunter now with your Nightshade, you're like, you know what?
And
I wonder if that's one hit.
Stephen Rue pointed out, they said, oh, that's a nice machine gun.
Yeah, boop, you're
I
dead.
know.
Oh, that's sort of a double reveal. Machine
Right?
guns might be back,
Yes.
and we're getting this new bow
Could
and arrow.
have been
Yeah.
out of context.
No,
just made up, but
that is a Bungie
probably
little
compound bow.
Yeah.
What do you got, Sean? What do you think?
I really liked this reveal. That Vidoc like totally set the tone
100%.
right up front of the stream for
9
me.
minutes.
Yeah, like I thought that was awesome. The stream overall, I thought it was going to be longer, but I guess it's good that it wasn't because they kind of left you wanting more, which is how I felt at the end of the stream. It feels like when they revealed the Taken King. Remember when like they revealed the Taken King in a similar Vidoc? You and I were at E3 and we did the Vidoc like
No Legend
commentary.
is Safe is the name of the Vidoc.
And it totally felt like, whoa, this is a new like milestone for Destiny. Like after this point, the game will be very different. And I get that same sense here, which is great because the game has not been in the greatest state recently. And I think a lot of players feel that. So we're looking forward, and man, is there a lot of really cool stuff to look forward to. I'm seriously amped about it.
Yeah, really big changes. No transmogs yet that we're seeing, but
No, yeah,
really
but I mean, like,
getting there.
So that's the thing is like I have this sense that like what we saw in the stream, and they kind of alluded to it in the stream, was like this is all very top level, sort of like at a 1,000 feet up look at what's coming in the future. Once we get down to like the granular stuff, like I would expect to see more detailed changes, like transmog, not specifically these, but things like that are very specific to the quality of life that we play.
Lore in-game, quests, bounties.
Yep.
CJ, you have in your notes here, play your way, weapon slot changes. That's going to be really cool. You can play Destiny 1 style. You can do all shotguns.
have 3
It's gonna be
shotguns.
Crazy.
Yep.
They use that as an example. The weapons have random rolls, something the community has been asking for. There's going to be mods on the armor or armor customization
Armor
of some
perks
sort.
of some kind.
Perks.
Yep.
And yeah, the collections are huge.
They're amazing.
So they're giving us 500 more vault slots. Plus, we have the collection system,
Yep.
which, I mean, we didn't see it happen, but they basically said that you can grab it from there and have it on your person.
It also shows like a fraction. Like if you look closely, it's like numbered, like, and then there's a slash,
Yeah.
and then like
But-
you have collected this many of this many available. So it gives you kind of like, it gives you a sense of how many weapons you haven't yet discovered or unlocked.
Yeah, I rewatched the part. I'm like, it sounds like you can pull it right out of that menu while
Yes,
you're in
it
orbit.
does.
So they're like improving the vault system across the board.
Yeah, I'm confident you can. It's just, collections today, or you got to go back to the tower. And now they just put it right there.
Well, it's all temp right now, so stuff might change in the future.
Yeah.
But yeah, the part that I enjoyed, I feel like they're answering a bunch of things kind of simultaneously. If potentially you can get it right from there, you don't need to go to orbit. It helps out the lore people. You actually have the ability to see the weapons in advance of obtaining them. To me, that was the thing that was missing in Destiny 2, especially when random rolls were eliminated. So that fixes almost like 99% of the problems that I
Instead of using DestinySets.com, it's right there.
right there.
Yeah, I mean, we're pretty sure that now with these collections in there, like we've been seeing with, say, Catalyst, there's like a hint.
Yes.
We think that's probably where this might go. Like there's a question mark exotic that it's one of the 40, and maybe you get a hint.
Well,
to
we don't
start
know
that.
if it's maybe
they didn't show that in the
exotics,
menu.
or
No,
legendaries,
I'm
or what it
speculating.
is. Yeah, but if it is that way, then yes, and that's the nicest part is if they have little hints or if they have certain things. Like there's so many weapons in Destiny, and you want to figure out, okay, how do I obtain this?
Yeah.
To me, it's going to be great for the content creators as well.
Yeah.
Yeah. Anything else?
I mean, overall, like, I just think that this is a huge step forward, and I'm very
Yeah.
excited about it. Like, it gives me hope that they're listening to the community, and not just, like, the overall sort of sentiments that we can all, like, even if you're sort of following Destiny, you know what the community's saying, just from seeing the same threads on Reddit. But, like, the fact that, like, they're willing to change so much and so drastically gives me hope that they're willing to kind of go the distance in other things. Like I've long been saying one of the things I wanted was more RPG like talent trees that make our like choices with how we play really like more tailored to our play style and a lot more sort of like focused.
Yeah.
And the fact that they're now switching around the weapon slots, like that gives me hope that like we could potentially see those changes in the future.
Yeah, it's a lot of different options. Two things stuck out to me. One, to your point, was they still said it might break the game.
Yeah.
We thought of that.
Awesome.
And we've all probably used Lunafaction boots by now. And the fact that they're willing to continue this like crazy, like, oh my God. We've seen so many clips. And even when I still have used Lunafaction, I'm like, are you kidding me?
Yeah, but see, like that stuff amps me up.
You know
Yeah,
what?
that's great.
Yeah, you know what it was? There was the super where, was it a Warlock that had like the beam of an arc?
Yeah.
Some of that, and that was when they were talking about this might break the game maybe. I don't know if it was that, but I remember that moment stuck out.
Like I just watched a video because I was just googling like what are the best because I'm in PvP. I'm running Crest of Alpha Loopy right now, which is pretty good at when you cast your barrier, it gives you a health boost. That's pretty good, but now there's all these other changes. Like I've been looking at Syntheseps videos.
Yeah.
That is really good. But
It
then this
is
guy
really good.
posted
OP good.
This guy posted a new build that he calls the AC 130 build, where you use Lion Rampant, which is the floating boots, and then you use Skyburner's Oath, which they adjusted.
Oh,
now
which
to
has hipfire already.
hipfire,
yeah.
and you just float around
Nuking
80
people
like
with it.
you don't even ADS,
like
you just
auto aim
hipfire
as
and
well.
it tracks them and it does so much damage. I'm like, that's
crazy.
Whoa, that's a build I want to try now. And now I need to go get those two weapons. So if they're willing to change up the sandbox in such drastic ways where we can like potentially come up with these new combinations and we are like really excited to explore these new ways of playing, like that's what the core Destiny gameplay loop is to me, and like that's just gonna be so cool.
Yep. Yeah, the only other mention I don't know if we're talking about it later, but just alluded to the fact that weapons might have a bit of a grind in them as well, like leveling them up or something.
Right.
Yeah,
Yeah,
they
Didn't
did.
say much,
They're
but
going to grow as your power grows.
stuck out to me that there was something going
To
on.
me, that kind of just said like a new type of infusion. But yeah,
Yeah.
like I get what you're saying.
But overall,
Okay.
thumbs up, right?
You've ruined
Thumbs
it.
up
Isn't
on
that
the
what
base
infusion
reveal.
is?
Oh, for
Oh,
sure.
yeah.
Yeah, and
I'm
I
excited to learn more.
I made a comment that no legend is safe. Actually, that was last year's Taken King, or Destiny 1's Taken King reveal. I thought this was just as good, or maybe even better in some ways, because the game has dramatically changed. David Samuel.
Oh, yeah,
the
The
yeah.
best.
sound effects guy. When
The
he makes it
best.
in there, him and then Scott Taylor, Steve Cotton, there were a combination of moments in there where I'm like, those guys know and
Love those
understand.
guys.
Yeah, the last few months have been a little difficult, so it was good to see all those guys being really lighthearted. in that.
Dave Samuel always brings a smile to my face. The only thing we don't know, I would point out, though, is this is an expansion, right? They talked about whatever the Dreaming City.
Yeah.
They didn't really talk about new planets and stuff, right? And
So-
they very much avoided, right, showing, or yeah, we're going to talk about this?
Yeah, so overall, thumbs up. They didn't really
Yeah.
talk too much about the new
How much
Destiny.
content is what I'm
They
wondering.
teased them. Let's talk about the pricing structure
Oh, okay.
and why that's a little bit strange. That's where I was going to jump.
Oh,
in
sure.
there.
I'm
So
We can't finish up real quick with
what do you got?
well, just like one of the biggest things that we didn't really touch about, which I think forms a lot of our impressions, is the reveal of the new space, which is Dreaming City.
Yeah,
Right.
the new raid space.
Yeah, so they kind of positioned it as an endgame / raid space where all of the endgame events and challenges and stuff happen. Kind of, and they said like it was a lot like if what's the name of
Crota's
the ship?
End and
No,
Dreadnought.
oh no,
ship,
sorry,
yeah.
Dreadnought.
Dreadnought
Yeah.
and Vault of Glass. They said
if they had if they were twins,
is
yeah,
what they said.
yeah. Which that's an interesting comparison because like I liked the Dreadnought, but it felt a little small. But the idea of a brand new space that we haven't seen, where basically you're doing your raids, you're doing your whatever the game's equivalent of Escalation Protocol or Challenge or Prison of Elders is, your end game activities, where the thing that really hooked me is that they said like it would be different in 3 weeks after Gardens had explored it than it is when you first get there because there are these secrets and puzzles that unlock over time, and as Guardians progress further and further, it gets bigger and bigger. That sounds awesome because I don't know if you guys have been doing like the Nascent Dawn quests and all of
Yes.
the like
Yeah.
exotic quests going on in this expansion right now, but they're awesome.
Yeah, they're
Like,
great.
They're really cool.
You
And-
thought the Dreadnought was small? The Dreadnought wasn't.
yeah, like
small.
like after maybe the first couple weeks, you're like, it feels pretty small.
I think it probably felt small because you only went to a few areas, but it was actually pretty
Also,
well.
it was huge.
It's also because I think like initially you don't have access to your
Claustrophobic.
yeah.
you don't have access to your Sparrow, so I think
Yeah.
that artificially makes it feel a little bit bigger.
Maybe a little
I
bit.
get what you're saying.
But what I'm saying is like the prospect of a brand new space that seems open world and big, and we saw a bunch of art in the
It looks
Vidoc.
really
It
cool.
looks really cool.
Yeah.
Like I'm just excited to go explore that.
They showed a lot of the raid this time, like a few of the encounters that we can sort of expect. And I think that's good. They gave us enough of a tease without giving anything away. And I really, really appreciated that. I'm really excited about September.
They were very specific to be like, we don't want to tell you too much because like part
Yeah.
of it is the surprise.
Yeah.
Well, Deej
But-
was tempering people's expectations too, because now we have a bunch of questions. So
Yeah. Like,
You know.
thank God it's not Leviathan. Thank you. That's not a
Yes.
question. I just
Yeah.
want to say that. Like, I'm just so
Another
glad.
Leviathan
I'm
raid.
so glad to get out of that space and be somewhere totally new and exploring the area. I was really worried yesterday when they're like, "Oh, we're going back to Prison Elders." Like, oh no, like it's gonna be like Destiny. They're just giving us an area from Destiny 1, but no, it's so different.
Yep.
I'm relieved to see that the enemy faction actually looks visually distinct. It doesn't just like it's not like a peg leg fallen, you know?
Yeah.
Like look, we
With
gave them weird
Siva.
legs this time. No, they look pretty different.
They have really some new moves. It looks like, and I'm honestly we've been waiting for that for years.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
So that's
a
very
relief,
exciting.
for sure. I did kind of want to talk about the confusing pricing structure. So they're doing an annual pass system now, going with Destiny 2 Forsaken. And here, I'm just going to break it down. I have it written down on my piece of paper. So if you've never played Destiny 2, you need Destiny 2 base game and the 2 expansions, which you can get for on PS4 $39.59, on Xbox $38.99, or on PC $38.99. And then if you want to get just Destiny 2 Forsaken, you can get that for $39.99 without the annual pass. So you'll be looking at $79.58, or about $80 to go in And then if you want to get the annual pass with Forsaken, it's $109.58. So that will be your total cost to entry if you're a new Destiny 2 player and you've never played Destiny 2 before.
How do you make it this far into the show if you've never played? No, it's,
Yeah. So you're probably not watching the show, but just to give context, Bungie did clarify that what did they say specifically, Fran? You have the tweet right there.
Oh, yes, I do. I did pull this up. So it's funny. We've been asking them about this today. I wonder if this somewhat in response, but they said there will be additional Destiny 2 Forsaken product options unveiled later this year. For players who do not own the Destiny 2 base game and both expansions, they'll be available closer to September 4th.
And shout out to Humble Bundle, an IGN partner. There's actually a sale right now on Destiny 2. It's like $12.
Yep. Yeah. Part of IGN. Humble Bundle is actually disclosure. Part of IGN. Our business. But they have
it's a
great
good deal,
deals,
and it goes to charity.
Yes.
So
this is actually something that was really important because I don't know about you guys, but I was getting a bunch of tweets like, okay, this seems like a good time to enter, right? But like, how do I do that? What is that going to cost me if I don't have Destiny 2 or haven't played it yet? Do I have to get the other expansions and stuff? So like
the answer is yes, you do need to get the other expansions.
Yeah, but the fact that Bungie is going to address that for people who haven't jumped into the game yet with bundles and stuff that makes sense that are hopefully maybe a little discounted.
Yeah, like 60
great.
or something, right?
Yeah, because like I'm looking at this and
60
being
is
like
a good price point. 60, 70.
We'll see.
Yeah, like if I'm a new player, if I just have to, put myself in that position and be like, I haven't played Destiny 2.
Yeah, what if you only play Destiny 1? That's like one of the things.
But it looks like this is a good time. Or I learned my lesson and I didn't like Destiny 1, but I jumped back in for Taken King, and now I want to jump back in for Forsaken. And then I see that it's going to cost $110 at minimum. I'm like,
that's with the annual pass.
That's a
no,
punch
but
in
you
the
know what
gut.
I mean, right? Like that's the sort of jumping in point.
80,
Like
80 minimum, 110
But that's
for
with
everything,
sales.
right? Today, if you were to buy it today.
It's today. And that was the point. Destin and I talked about this briefly. I just really wanted to make sure
It's just a
everyone
little
was clear on
step
it.
is all.
Yeah.
MSRP, as you go around, like Best Buy still had up like Destiny 2 plus expansions for like 90. Then you have, there's non-sale items, and it's a little confusing that you could actually spend as much, if you're not careful, as $128, $29 if you're not careful to buy all this stuff without the annual pass. So you get it for $75 to $80 for now. All I wanted to finish by saying, I hope they get a little closer to 60 because, and that's why I'm a little worried about what the other content is. Like, it seems like it really relies on the rest of the
But when
content.
you say right now, you don't think they're holding some of this information to release that at E3 or later? Like, we're a
They
week away
said
from E3.
They said
so.
in the stream that closer to launch, like closer to September, they would be revealing more information about that.
feel like they're waiting to see how pre-orders go. If you want my honest opinion at this
Who
point.
knows? So I am actually using this as a segue, everybody. So let's talk about the annual pass. So Destiny 2 Forsaken is going to have a new annual pass system. The base game costs $39.99. With the annual pass, it's $69.99. You get 3 expansions. You get Black Armory, which is Winter 2018, Joker's Wild, which is Spring 2019, and Penumbra, Summer 2019. I said it a little weird, but that's what it's called. Anyway, you get those 3 expansions, and I have a question for everybody. Is this a better system than the 2 DLCs?
I mean, it's a really tough question to answer without knowing what's in them.
Yeah.
It's going to come down
the
to
way
content.
So
right?
me and Brian and Duggan out there, we talked a lot about this morning, but really what it comes down to is like, I just think that this is a better way for them to message that players are going to be getting regular content.
Yes.
Like what that content is, and hope like one, I don't think it'll be addressed until we're closer to when we're getting them. But 2, I also expect them to be more in line with what we got from Warmind and Curse of Osiris. The problem being that I think Bungie realizes that when players and Guardians who are really involved in the game don't have anything to play and are looking forward to the next expansion, then there's no information out there, like even the name.
Yeah.
Our expectations get like high up, right? And then it delivers and it's not what we expected and people are disappointed, right? Well, this is a way where we can tell people, look, like you're paying X amount, you're getting X amount, you're getting Y amount, whatever. And we can think of these things in terms of the size and scope of Curse of Osiris and Warman. If we do that, I think we're going to be at least our speculations aren't just running wild.
Yeah, here's what they did tell us on the sheet. It did say endgame challenges, new weapons, armor, and vanity rewards to collect, new and returning exotics, new pinnacle activities, new triumph records to collect, new lore to discover.
So that's basically what Warmind was, right? Yep. Like, so in varying degrees, like it depends on how much or how robust these features are, like if there's an escalation protocol like event in it, then perhaps it is worth it,
Yeah.
I think it's just a better way to communicate the type of content you're getting for the price up front, as opposed to waiting down the line for Guardians
for a
to
launch.
Yeah, exactly.
Well, but I mean, in some ways they did that a little bit, because even on the launch of Destiny 2, we knew that there was going to be the Warmind. We knew that there was going to be, they weren't titled, but we knew right off the bat.
Expansion 1 and 2.
Expansion 1 and 2. But I mean, so I hear what you're saying. To me, this is all still a little bit vague until we get closer to each of those things. Like, it's kind of the same always, right? But it's nice that it's an annual pass, and it's like you can either choose to buy this or not.
Alongside seasonal updates and live events available to every Destiny 2 player, Forsaken Annual Pass provides bonus rewards and introduces 3 premium content releases. Each release delivers new experiences to Destiny 2 Forsaken, including activities and in-game content, and an arsenal of powerful weapons, armor, and gear to earn. I believe I pulled that from the press release. One thing that comes alongside this is Deej did say on the stream, and I'm paraphrasing, we're leaning harder into what keeps you coming back, less into cutscenes and cinematics.
Yeah.
Which again is, I feel like, a definitely, like, Sean, I hope you're listening out there type comment. I have been very vocal about wanting these expansions to dive deeper into the storytelling. And I feel like that sometimes might be a little misconstrued, because I am 100% all for environmental, adventure-based storytelling, or like not necessarily cinematic cutscene storytelling.
Yeah, if the in-game engine does it, and it does it really well, and there's a bunch of different...
Well, they didn't say that yet, though. What about like the lore tabs and?
But that's what I'm saying is, like, I think
okay with that?
Well, yeah, absolutely. Like, I think a great example. I mean, Halo's a great example of this, where like there's the main campaign, it has cutscenes and cinematics or whatever. But then if you go back and you're picking up terminals and stuff, you're getting a bunch of additional story that you can collect and piece together at your own pace, which fleshes out the world. And anyone who watches like someone like Bife on YouTube realizes there's all this information and lore out there that we just don't pick up on.
Yeah.
I love that, and I think that that's a great way to do it, as long as I just want them to make it easier. Like, if there's a lore tab and we can access that, and there's a progress in it, then that's going to be great. And it sounds like that's the direction they're leaning.
Yeah, we don't know enough about it yet, though, right? Like, we may not have a traditional campaign mission structure like we're seeing in, like, Warmind, to be fair, it didn't really have, like, a lot of cutscenes or anything, but I wonder what it means, because they really were talking about in-game activities, vanity items, potentially new items, etc. So I'm kind of wondering if they're still going to have, call it, the traditional campaign ad.
To be honest, Destiny's biggest strength has always been the gameplay, and its weakest
just
aspect
add a
has always
strike.
been the storytelling.
Exactly.
So
Just add a new strike.
they're already taking the strikes out of the main campaign missions and throwing them back into the strike playlist. So I'm going to take a wait and see with this, but I mean, if they can still deliver an interesting, compelling story through new strikes and some sort of narrative path that they take us on that doesn't have as many cutscenes, cool. Just tell a better overall story.
Yeah.
And one other important note, I'm sure people are like, well, what does this mean for like all the free updates that I've been getting? This has been a question going around, which Bungie addressed about an hour ago as a recording. They said it'll be in the TWAB. So, you know, by the time you hear this, there may be more details.
We'll be at E3.
But coming this week, they say more details and information about the Forsaken Annual Pass are coming in the weekly Bungie update. The Annual Pass is designed to improve upon the previous expansion pass and will not replace seasonal events and live game updates that every player can access in Destiny 2.
Yeah.
So let's talk about the price just for one last second. The annual pass ends up being the annual pass ends up basically you're getting like 3 or 4. Well, how many?
No, you can only buy what, 69 bucks? Is that what it is?
Yeah.
You can only buy a single annual pass. Oh, sorry.
There's no way to get the annual pass
with the
separately
annual pass
currently.
is a total of 70. Yeah.
Right. So if you break that down and think about what the actual base game is with that, you're effectively getting then how many DLCs for what?
We don't know. That's
20
the thing.
yeah,
They,
like if you
they
were to
point
think
to
about it
3
like that.
things. You're right, and it's what, $20 roughly currently.
Well, it'd go
It's
from 40 to 70, right? So 30, so
It-
$10
Yeah,
per piece of content.
Yes,
sorry.
it feels like
Yeah.
you're getting more content for less amount of money than previously. Like that's what it seems like.
But see, that's the point. That I was
It's
getting.
hard
We
to-
don't
you're
know.
right.
Right now, right, expansions are about $15, right?
Yeah, 15 to 20. Yeah.
And so that would be more than what you'd normally get out
Yeah.
of the pass. But anyway, it's too early to say. But my
Yeah,
head
'cause,
was
like,
there too. I'm like,
without
wait,
knowing-
is it $10 a thing because there's 3 things? Like,
Because, like, I would argue even if they cost the same, like, the value definitely leans towards Warmind over Curse of Osiris, right?
I personally like the annual pass model better than the expansion model because I think there's a certain expectation with an expansion.
Yeah.
Yes.
A cinematic narrative, and I don't know. I just
Yeah, I
feel
know what
like
you're saying.
expectations are managed with this style.
I agree.
It does.
Although
yeah.
I still do hope that they take the expansion philosophy, because, like, I will always say, like, I do want 3 or 4 cool,
want your Lich
robust story missions.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Wrath of
I-
the Lich King, Burning
I
Crusade.
think what we've seen
There's your
with
episodic WoW reference.
But I do think with
gotta speak your language.
Warmind has those pieces where whether it was escalation protocol or within there's like the raid lair even. I think we can still expect those drops. I think it's getting away from this idea that it's one whole package and it's a whole new story and expansion. Like now they can just my hope is they just drop stuff in without that expectation. Which maybe
that's
saying,
great.
Wouldn't it be cool? Wouldn't it be cool if like
add a new Nightfall?
they
Awesome.
could? It allows them so much flexibility. Like, what if what if that winter update is just 6 new story missions and that's it, and then the next one is just new multiplayer modes and new
I would hope
they could do whatever.
I don't think it'll be that. I think it'll be sort of a
hear you. It's-
smorgasbord.
Yeah, I mean, like,
sampler platter.
Sure.
if
so to
you will.
Well, the
But,
new
A little
game,
bit of story.
But we'll learn
some
more.
tomato sauce on that.
the new game mode, though, I mean, to me, there's a lot of different things now. I feel like that is a completely new
Yeah,
activity.
we'll talk about that last.
Yeah, that just you feel like now that could be in and of itself its own deal that they reiterate. Bunch of new maps for that game mode, and it was one of these things where I've read enough Fireteam chat comments that it hybrid marries PvE versus or with PvP together, and I think it looks super cool.
We're going to talk about Gambit in just a second, but just so everybody knows, here is what you get in September according to the roadmap. We're going to get gear collections. We're going to get in-game triumphs. We're going to get weapon slot changes, weapon randomization, mod system update, bulk shader deletion, new Crucible mode, Gambit, 4 new Crucible maps, 200 additional vault slots for 500 total. In-game lore, new bounties, power matters, and Iron Banner and trials. That was a little footnote not everybody caught,
powered
but that is great to have back. I am tremendously excited about that.
Yeah.
Power
guys are big trial
matters.
players.
Power matters.
Do you think this is going to address the TTK issue that everybody kind
That's another question.
of brings into question the PvP model?
Well,
and we'll use this to go into Gambit.
Yeah, so for sure, definitely the ability to customize weapons. Now, obviously, there's jokes like, hey, can you equip 3 rockets? I don't know. They did not. Well, for sure, they said you can put 3 rockets.
You put whatever
in
you
each
want.
slot.
They use shotguns as an example.
I
but
heard
anything.
that.
Destiny
Anyways.
2 Forsaken. F it.
Exactly.
Do whatever you want. That's what it is.
That's
D2F.
what it was like. Yeah, but I
That's
think
what the F stands for.
so. That's what's cool. Now, if you can, I don't know how that's going to work because then it's like what your primary, secondary weapon slot's going to fill a rocket.
Well, they did mention that like it's going to change the way Guardians think about power ammo and just ammo in general.
Right.
Because
How
I'll
does
bet
that
you-
work?
I'll bet
That's
you, yeah,
my
like I'll
point.
bet you if you have 3 shotguns, like you won't have ammo to fill all 3 of those shotguns.
So,
I
but
think,
yeah,
you know?
like is the white brick and the green brick you pick up gonna go into those power slots? Because those like readily show around on the ground in PvE. So for me, everybody talks about is the game catered for PvP or PvE, and what do you guys think?
The new game or in general?
In general, because I'm always, I mean, people go, oh, CJ, you're a PvP guy. It's like, yes, but I really do think that the PvE side of
Yeah,
Destiny.
it's been heavier on PvE, I would say.
For Destiny 2, yes.
Yeah,
for sure.
For Destiny 2, yeah.
So, what do you think?
I mean, I think they're about equivalent.
Okay.
Yeah.
In Destiny 2?
Yeah, like I think there's probably more stuff to collect from PvE than there is in PvP, but in terms of like playtime and in terms of investment and in terms of skill cap, like I think
No, I just feel like the
PvP
thought they put into it, it seems like PvE got more.
To me, PvP seems
Again,
like a
totally.
watered down version
Yeah.
from Destiny 1. And
Yeah.
PvE was sort of more focused on, like, even with the weapon system, or they tried to have you do the weapon juggle thing.
Yeah, and to me,
Yeah.
this was some of the thing. Like as a PvP guy, everybody's saying, "Oh, you should pay more attention to PvE siege," and it's like, no, I do. I enjoy PvP, but I still love playing PvE. And I think for sure that if you look back into the game now, PvP was designed to be very balanced, maybe a little boring. It was 4v4, but it was the things that supposedly a lot of people wanted Destiny to be. We got that, and the majority of people, I think, felt a little bit neutered in their power. Now it's like, this is not Destiny 1. This is not Destiny 2. It is something else.
Yeah.
You want to rock 3 shotguns in PvE? Great. You want to do that in PvP? Cool. Do that too. What about balance? Screw it. And to
they
me,
were
like, that's
so-
really cool.
Sorry to interrupt your
it's all
point.
right.
They were so cautious with balance and everything, and they're like,
were.
you know what? That was a mistake. It's all about
you
the
go.
power fantasy. We're going to let you have that power fantasy again. Supers are going to
Yeah,
break the
like-
game. We don't
Yep.
care. Just go for it.
We've
Kill the
brought it
boss
up, but
completely.
like in all of Destiny 2, the most fun that anyone's ever had, or the most like people were talking about PvP, Crucible, Trials, was when Prometheus Lens was broken.
Yeah.
And it no one disagrees that it was broken.
It was.
Very imbalanced,
Yep.
and people who didn't have it were having a bad time. I'm not saying that that's what they should go for, but the idea that like, whoa, there's this cool new thing and it's really powerful and I want to go try it out, that is something that has been lacking on the PvP front for sure.
Right.
Here's how it felt to me. They're like, here's Destiny 2. My phone is Destiny 2. This is our baby. We're holding our baby. Oh, you can hold it for a little bit, but no, it's ours. We're going to control it. And now they're just like, yeah, whatever. He's grown up. Just
Yeah.
he's just go
crazy.
do whatever. We don't care.
But that's
Taking the gloves
awesome.
off.
yeah.
Yeah. I mean,
And it's cool.
yeah, I just can't wait.
Maybe a
to-
baby's a bad comparison.
Well, it is. That's fine. I was wondering where you're going with that.
As a father. Yeah.
It's all right.
Really
But
get
yeah,
that baby away fast, actually.
having multiple snipers and shotguns, to me, it does potentially give somebody the ability to be like the sniper guy or the shotgun guy or the fusion rifle guy or the tractor cannon guy and just do that.
I will have my revenge.
Exactly. But then that is awesome. And it doesn't potentially have to be, hey, as a PvE player, you're neutered for PvP. That's
DJ
awesome.
has said neutered twice this episode.
Neutered.
And that is a fantastic transition
Destin's throwing
for
babies
no
around.
reason. Let's talk about Gambit. So Gambit is a new 4v4 multiplayer mode where your team versus another team and you fight off waves of enemies until you get to a final boss, and your goal is to kill your final boss on your half of the map first. However, you can collect motes and mess with the other team. You can block off sections of their map, or you can actually invade. You can invade their side of the map and go in and kill the Guardians, further preventing them from progressing in their challenge.
Yeah.
You F them up.
Exactly.
Yeah, D2.
Boom.
Destiny 2.
I'm taking that from
F 'em up.
Luke.
Yeah.
Luke said
Yeah.
yeah.
seems
Yeah,
awesome.
Yeah, it's really
it,
interesting.
It looks really fun. It looks cool. I can't wait to try it out. It's going to be at E3, they said, and Guardian Con.
Yep.
Yeah, like
That's
I'm
cool.
actually really surprised about this, and maybe you can speak to this too. But like as a PvP guy, like where my head's at when it comes to PvP and competitive PvP is like, oh, I want to see my team slayers, I want to see my capture the flags.
Yep.
When a game brings something new, like when Halo brought in Oddball for the first time, I was like, well, this is really cool. That's what Destiny's done here, right? Like
Yeah.
they thought of something outside the box.
Yep.
And they talk about it in the Vidoc, but they were like, we tasked these guys with designing a mode that leverages the best things about Destiny. So what are the best things about Destiny?
Right.
Well, killing monsters, killing Guardians,
play.
yeah,
Yep.
like
And being competitive. And
yeah,
that was the
competitive
thing.
and
Yeah,
cooperative.
against
So
each
now
other.
it now you're working with your team to kill monsters as fast as you can, but then you're strategically making choices about how you use the resources from doing that to mess with
Yes.
the other team. And then at times it looks like you can send a player over Red Rover style
Yeah.
to like
That looks
mess
so
with their
cool.
Yeah, it's
yeah,
pretty
like
You
mess
just
with
kill
their
them.
strategy. Yeah,
Yes.
kill them like
Yeah. So they have to
pop
respawn.
over with a rocket or two, be like bam, and then get back over.
Yep.
Like that would be really cool. Like it just
Track
seems
cannon.
It's like a
fun,
super move in like a fighting game almost.
Can I have 3 tractor cannons?
Oh
You
my
probably can't equip 3 exotics. Maybe
Yes,
3
you already have
shotguns.
7 in the mag. Why would
Come
you
on,
need to
guys.
switch?
Not 3 exotics simultaneously.
The catalyst.
I got excited for a
insane
second.
on it.
Sorry.
Yeah, but you're right. And I think those are some of the things that, PvP was always a very different part of Destiny, especially with Destiny 2 when a lot of your weapons did not feel as powerful. So this has a lot of those things. Man, I just want to say the word neuter again.
Let's not.
You just
Okay,
did.
well, I did.
It's fine.
It's nice that now you now have like this activity where what they did with the Nightfalls and adding scorings and stuff like that, this is now right there. It's maybe not a leaderboard, and we don't know if there is or not, but like you're playing against somebody else in a PvE mode. You want me to say it again?
Yeah, I do now.
I know. But that's what's cool. This is a direct competition in a PvE type space.
I also love just like the strategic choices it affords you. Like imagine if your job on your team in this mode is like you're the guy who goes and messes with the other team.
Yeah.
Like, your weapon loadout is going to be way different than what you would hope
Yes.
it would be when you're killing monsters and stuff. Like
That's a
it
good
just,
point.
Like because killing Guardians is different than killing monsters. Like
Will
I
there
think
be
that's really
locked
cool.
loadouts? It's going to be really, really interesting.
Yeah.
Yeah. Anyway, I think that's everything. We're about to go to E3. There's a ton to go over. Those
Yeah.
are our initial reactions to the Destiny 2 Forsaken reveal that just happened. Thank you guys so much for joining us. Any final points? What do you guys think?
Oh, let's
I
go
mean, we
play
did it at
this.
the top of the show,
All-
but yeah,
all
we're going to be
positive.
playing it, right?
Yeah,
Yeah.
days away. We're gonna go play
Yeah.
Gambit at least. We'll see what.
Yeah, so I guess just wait for full impressions. We're going to be playing
Yeah.
at E3.
Weapon
So,
slots,
you know that.
random rolls. Those are the biggest. I cannot believe that they're doing that.
Vault
in
space.
this kind of way.
That's my big takeaway.
New raid space / endgame space.
Pretty cool. What was your favorite
I
thing?
don't have an ending tagline. I'm excited for just there's too many changes at once, and that's great.
All right.
I'm
Well,
not
we'll
gonna pick one thing.
We'll see you guys again at E3. Thank you so much for joining us this time. Until next time, Guardians out. Hey, everybody. Thank you so much for watching. Don't forget to hit subscribe if you want to do that, or check out all of our other episodes right here.